Hi, today I'm going to share with you my pizza recipe. I've been working on this pizza recipe for a while because my oven doesn't work properly and I had to figure out a way to make it on the stovetop. And I have. It's turned out well. In the first video, I'm just going to show you how to put the dough together, how to make the dough. And then in the second video, I will actually cook the dough and make the pizza. So here we go. Okay, so let's begin making the dough. So first thing we're going to do is get 8 grams of yeast. So there, the bowl's on there, so it's already set to 0. And we just need 8 grams of yeast. It actually looks like quite a bit. I would say that it's probably 2 teaspoons, something like that. Okay, we got 9, but close enough. Okay, and then we need a little bit of honey. My honey's kind of thick to give the yeast something to eat. Actually, that might be a little more than necessary, but we'll go with that. And then we need some 104 degree water. 360 grams. So I filled that up to about 400. So the best way to find out how it is, stick your finger in. If it's really hot, but you can leave your finger in, then it's good. If it's too hot for your finger to stay in, you have to take it out or just let it cool down a little bit more. Okay, so let's clear this or put it back to 0. And we need 360. There we go. 360. Okay. And then I use the spoon here from the honey and just get a little bit of a stir. Try to get, well, in this case, if you use more liquid honey, it's not going to do that, but yes, we're going to try and melt this honey ball and get kind of the lumps out. And in a few seconds, we're going to see it activate, and it should just go blah. Okay, now I'm going to set this off to the side and we'll measure the flours. Got a bowl here. I wouldn't mind leaving this here so you can see it activate. Move this over here a little bit more. This on well. Okay. Now what I do is we need 530, but I just start with a little bit of whole wheat and then do the rest with an extra fine flour. the finer the flour, the better. Actually, the whole wheat kind of negates that, but so I'll probably do about 100 of this. Yeah, something like that. Could probably go a little over because the water was maybe a little over. That'll be good. Oh, and we do need a teaspoon of salt mixed into the flours. Okay, so this has been about 5 minutes. Now I mixed this together a little bit better just so the salt isn't all in one glob in there. And you can see that a little bit of the whole wheat flour is coming through. So now just take this, dump it into here. And now I just do it with a fork. Just take the fork. And all you need to do is just stir it until it comes together. If it seems like you need a little bit more water at the end, that happens sometimes. But it does usually come together like pretty good. Yes, this definitely does not need more water because there's just a few bits down there that aren't in, but they'll go in. It's mostly from the whole wheat flour, but they're going to get lost in there. So this is all together. There aren't any bits left down there. You can scrape some off the side if there's any big globs. And now just scrape off your fork. Put that guy back in. Okay, that's it. Well, it's not it, but it's it for now. So just take a lid, pop it on there, wait for at least 10 minutes. I usually go like 12, maybe even 15, depending on just what's going on. But at least 10 minutes, just let it rest. We'll be back. Okay, so it's been about 12 minutes or so. So now all you need to do, I suggest to wet your hands first. And then we'll get started. Okay, so just wet your hands. That way the dough will not stick so bad. And for this you don't want any flour or anything like that. Because if you add flour at this stage, it's going to turn your dough just kind of hard into a rock. So all you do, take it out, whack it on the counter. This is really fast. So you just whack it. You see it's already coming together. Okay, that was it. Just use your hand to try to drag that on. Drag it into a ball. And flop it back in the bowl. hands are getting dry. Okay. Lid back on. Okay, so it's been another 10 minutes, 12 minutes, so let's have a look. So the process is the same. We need to wet our hands and then just flop it and fold it. But this time I'm going to wash the bowl and oil the bowl. And then we're really going to let it rise this time. Trying to get all of this out of the bowl. And it's just the same, so we're gonna whack it. Pretty much, you can't do any more. It won't pull anymore. So it's all ready. So just need to put it into a bowl. Drag it along the counter like that. All right. Now I'm gonna wash the bowl and oil the bowl. Okay, I got the bowl washed. And all you need is just a very little bit of oil. Just enough so that it's not gonna stick too badly after it rises. And you can lift it up on the side a little bit. Alright. And then I'll drag this a little bit more into a nice ball. There we go. Virtually nothing on the counter, but if there was, you could incorporate it in, but this is pretty dry, so I'm not gonna put it in there. All right, that's it. So now it's just ready to rise. So what you want it to do is double in size, which in this bowl and that, it's going to fill up basically completely full. It'll probably be almost touching the top, which should take about an hour, but it would depend on how warm it is. Obviously, warmer is better. All right, so be back in an hour. Okay, it's actually been about an hour and a half here because my kitchen isn't as warm as I thought it was. So, but I think that it's definitely doubled in size now. So now is when you need to use flour so it doesn't get all stuck on your counter or your table that you're using. So let me get this out of the way a little bit. Put some flour down. Get this spread out just a little bit. All right. Let's see if it'll fall out. Perfect. Okay. All right, now you just kind of want to just push it around just a little bit. You don't need to like do a lot of work with it, but just kind of get some of the air out. And this is going to be enough for 4 crusts, so I'm going to end up cutting this into 4. So just sort of move it so that you can kind of get a pretty even, so that it seems like the size is pretty much the same on both sides. But I think we can call it good enough. Okay. Now you can make these into a little bit more of a, actually it's in really good condition. I didn't need hardly any flour. And then put out some, a little bit of flour so they don't end up sticking later. And maybe put in something like, so at this point the dough is ready. And you can use it in how you would normally use the dough, in your pizza in the oven if you'd like, or if you want to see how I do it on the stovetop, you can watch part 2.